Richard Roth now on a very big star who is widely heard, yet only rarely seen in person.
The song's title was Orinoco Flow, but the world knew it as Sail Away. And 13 years ago, it launched a young Irish woman on a remarkable journey. Enya has reached a unique spot at the pinnacle of her profession. Like Cher and Madonna, an artist who doesn't need a last name. She's sold more than 50 million albums around the world. But she's almost never seen by her fans. Enya's never staged a concert tour and rarely performs live. A pop icon now 40 years old, passionate about her privacy.
There are certain people who are very comfortable with being photographed every day, and there's certain people who need it as well, you know. And it's just that, to me, I never felt the need for it. So far, I mean, I haven't really done anything sort of outrageous, you know. I think, like, to begin with, that when you step out of the limelight, there is no kind of sensationalist stories that revolve you, then they kind of tend to leave you be.
With people reassessing their values in these uncertain times, perhaps it's the old-fashioned qualities of gentleness and simplicity, along with a soft-focus image, that have made Enya more popular than ever.
I think, hopefully, what the image is, again, it's someone who really focuses on, you know, music. When I work on music, I forget the success. I forget about the fans, the listeners. I forget about, you know, the record company, everything. I just focus on, I'm working on this, and I want to be 100% happy with the end result.
Melody made rich by the meticulous layering of sound. A soaring chorus assembled on the electronic console of producer and arranger Nicky Ryan, but a chorus composed of just one voice.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you must remember, it's different each time. When I go in there and I hear the melody and I think, you know, what's going to suit this? So I start to sing the first part. And then when Nicky decides, right, we go for the second part of our harmony, it's always different. But if you sing it to 2 vocals, to 3 vocals, to 4 vocals, it's always sounding different, you know. So it's this wonderful build-up of vocals. So each time you're singing, you're building up. And it's you know...
Well, we also avoid, I'm sorry, but we also avoid the textural problem of using the same microphone. We use different microphones for different textures.
You also avoid the problem of having to pay other singers.
Well, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of extra time.
It's a process that's deeply solitary. No collaborators beyond her producer and her lyricist. What you hear is all Enya. So is almost all of what you see. And for someone whose music's been compared to the sound of wind chimes with words, there's nothing ethereal about the way she works.
I'm very involved as far as like how I'm portrayed, how the song is portrayed is very important to me. There's a stage where you do storyboards and you read the storyboards and you go, no, you know, this isn't suited, or I'm not happy to do that. No, I won't go filming on location, which I don't really enjoy because it's just so time consuming. But once I'm happy with the storyboard, happy with costumes and the people that are surrounding me that I know, then basically I sit back and let the director worry and enjoy it.
Put the board in, and play back. Rippling, please. The rippling enough for us.
Making videos is one of her few concessions to marketing records. Tough-minded isn't how it looks when it's done, but this is how Enya wants us to see her. A solitary artist for whom privacy's been something of a personal achievement. Growing up in a family of musicians, it seemed natural for Enya Brennan to begin performing in the family group, Clannad, which means family in Gaelic. It may have seemed natural, but it didn't feel right, and Enya didn't stay long. Now she thinks going solo is what she wanted to do all her life, a lesson from childhood, when she left 7 brothers and sisters behind for boarding school.
When I went to boarding school, that was the first thing that I really enjoyed, was the independence.
You were you.
Absolutely, and you know, you don't let go of it readily, you know. You really do hold on to it.
You could live anywhere in the world you want, and you've been all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine not living in Ireland?
No, I can't. I can't, because much as I love other cities and other parts of the world, I feel very, very connected with Ireland. You know, that's to do with my Irish roots, my family. You know, I just feel that, you know, I love traveling, I have to say, you know, but I feel that there's a certain stage that I've got to get back, you know, to home. I was brought up in the countryside, and it's always been important to me, you know, the feeling of space, you know, because that's, you know, where I know as home. So this, to me, I suppose brings me back to, you know, a lot of memories, you know, childhood memories, and, you know, I think that that's very important to me within my work.
Now this unusual artist has a place to indulge her privacy and perfectionism, a 19th century castle she's renovated. A small one, she says, as Irish castles go.
For a first-time home buyer, it's a pretty big purchase, isn't it?
Mm.
How many rooms?
Originally there was 10 bedrooms in it, but we're talking about very small bedrooms, you know, and I've kind of allocated some of the rooms, you know, like I've taken one floor for myself, and I have an art room, I have a library, I have a music room.
You're not going to be rattling around in there?
I'll be rattling around with family and friends, you know. I mean, it's going to be very much, I think once I move in there, it's just going to be endless parties for a while, because there's so many people who want to see.
We don't have to worry about Enya being lonely in her castle overlooking the sea.
No, no. I'm never lonely.
You're very lucky.
Privacy has meant freedom, she says. People know the music, not the musician.
She's going to do a great song for us tonight, and that song will be released as a single. It's called Only Time. On November 20th, all the proceeds are going to go to the firefighters, right?
Yes, it is, yeah.
What a wonderful idea, Enya. It's a great... You write all your own stuff, right?
Yes, I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. I write my own music. I've done it from the beginning. I worked on soundtrack, and then I was approached to write a solo album, and hence, you know.
Anything behind the writing of Only Time?
It's to do, a lot of the themes that I write about, they're to do with nature and of life. You know, it's to do with, you know, never to lose sight of, you know, what's around you and what's important, you know.
Do you always play your own piano and work with your violins and chorus? This is quite a setup here.
It
you
is.
You
Yes,
speak
it is.
Gaelic, don't you?
It's my first language.
Give me a
Gaelic.
quick something in Gaelic.
Good you and you, Jin Lai and you, Tamara, or show Larry King and you.
I hope you're right.